Still watching Moderna as I have a strangle on this thing. Ari talking about VKTX. Down, way down. Right now, putting in a bottom. Weight loss stock. The analysts keep coming out with price projections over 100. Yeah, that is trading at 542. So the price projections are great. I personally don't listen to analyst forecasts. Personally, don't put much stock in their what their predictions are. I know they get paid a lot of money to do analysis on these stocks, but again, I'm going to trade price action after something like this. It's coming off of a fairly good bottom. VKTX. It's just above the 15 and just below the 8 right now. It does have room up to about $54 right now if it can clear the 15 EMA. But it's the price action is it's taking a big hit here. It's very choppy stock, as you can see, like biotechs usually are, coming down pretty hard here. And this is a bull flag right here that's still in this bull flag, the bear flag. It's in this bear flag, but it's trying to break out. It needs to get above this 8 right here. Then it's got a little bit of room. In other words, there's a little gap fill right here, and then a little bit of room up to here. So again, it's interesting stock. Nothing I'm gonna trade with options right now. This VSTM is really moving nicely. Ari has some really good information on these biotech stocks, healthcare stocks. So I always pay attention to everything he has to say about these things. We find some good ones. The VSTM is a biotech right there, and that's really making a nice move today. He's pointed this out a couple of times today. SPY still chopping around here. It's back up to the green again, but it's been red, gapped up nicely this morning. Really choppy here right now. SPY back above the pivot point and the 15, but right below the VWAP. Good morning, folks, from the in YouTube. Welcome to the room. Again, this is Dave, and trading off the SPY Super System software right here, sometimes called the Compass software. And we've got current time frame momentum right here that we focus on for SPY Super System trades, which is the IWM, the SPY, and the Qs. And then we look at the multi-time momentum and the current time frame momentum together on a daily chart for our swing trades. So that we're taking longer intraday trades as well as swing trades that go overnight, out sometimes out to 3 weeks. This becomes critical. Both of these need to be blue and green for bullish and red and yellow for bearish. Right now I'm looking at SPY Super System trades to try to trade the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM. I did trade made a nice trade this morning for $50 a contract price on the SPY, and then $15 a contract profit in the IWM. Those are the only two trades I've taken today, except I just did add VSTM. I took VSTM. I took shares in VSTM. Took shares in VSTM at 6.29. I took shares. QA. Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone out here on YouTube. Yep. QA. Thanks. Happy New Year to you. Market starting 2025 pretty choppy. Nice little gap up this morning. Then a pullback. Markets went red, and now the SPY's green by 0.2% right now. Triple Qs are green by 0.3%, and the IWM is green by 0.7%. IWM is the strongest index, but also the weakest daily chart of the three indexes. I'm not going to touch the IWM long here for a SPY Super System. I could take it short, but I'm focusing more on the long side right now, since we're green. And my favorite right now for the long side is the triple Qs, as they bounced off the 50-day moving average this morning. Here's the triple Qs TC2000 chart right here. See, it's bounced right off of the 50-day moving average right here. Bounced off it here on Tuesday. Bounced off it again this morning. It's got room up here to the 8 exponential moving average. And here's the T2104, which is the cumulative volume index on the daily. This is on the 5-minute chart. Here it is today. Very bullish, very bullish. See the market coming, chopping down like this, up and down, up and down. This continues up. This is a bullish divergence in the SPY. I mean the T2104. So that typically means you want to lean toward the long side. Happy New Year, Barry. Good to see you here in the YouTube room. Get some. You talked to Rightline. Get some very good offers on the SPY Super System software here, as well as my room and the alert service right now. So for anybody who's interested in joining us, we have a lot of people here right now. Surprised with a short week like this, we have so many folks in the room. But I certainly appreciate that. We've got some great traders in here now. Roger, SHW to the downside. Sherwin-Williams. Yeah, a nice bearish setup on Sherwin-Williams. Earnings on 130, but it's definitely breaking down this morning. Anytime you see a stock like that, again on Sherwin-Williams, what you want to wait for it to entry for you on the 5-minute chart is you right here at the 15, breaks down below the 15 here. You could good time to take puts at it. Right now you see we got a little bit of green on it, so you'd wait for it to show some weakness either here or at the VWAP, and enter into it for the puts. But again, the daily chart is very bullish, very bearish. You can see across the board here we got red, multi-time frame momentum, current time frame momentum red, and our oscillator is moving down. But again, nice setup on Sherwin-Williams. That's a nice look on there, Scott. Roger, very nice. AJVKTX, perfect bounce after filling the gap from the 27th of February. VKTX. Yep, I see what you're saying. Yep. Yep, it did fill the gap, and that is a gap entry right there. I had a line right there on that gap entry. Let me look where it is. big gap, yeah. Gap starts at around, oh, there's a big gap there. 38.68. Yeah, about 38.68, and big gap fill up to around $57. But yeah, again, I'm not wild about the daily setup on this thing right now. It is going into a big gap from back there, but there's a lot of trading that took place inside that gap since then. So you're going to have a lot of support and resistance levels inside that gap. But that's what they're talking about right here. This was the gap fill line down here from February a year ago, and bounced right off of it, and it's putting in a bottom here. But to me, I'm not thrilled about trading this thing above the 8 and below the 15. For an investment, to buy it, pay the stock, maybe to hold for a bit, that's probably not a bad place. PPG, another one was pointed out this morning, another short. There's VSTM. I took this long at $6.30, $6.29, $6.29. I bought stock. The options are not really tradable. RGTI. This one we traded. Been watching this. This is actually set up pretty nicely again. Rigetti Computing. This is a nice setup in Rigetti. It was pulled back to the 8 on Tuesday. Trying to bounce off it today. Hasn't broken out yet, but that's a very good one to have on your radar, because this is a good potential long right here. Anthony, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. going to take some RGTI. Okay, I'm buying the February 7th. February 7th, $15 calls. And they're going for about $5.15 or so. Gonna give myself plenty of time on that one. That's RGTI. February 7th. I'm not gonna put a lot of positions on here because I don't know what the market's gonna do. I really don't. But I think this thing, the setup on RGTI is very, very nice here. So we'll take. I'm going to take that one. Let me send that out on an alert. All right, so I'm in RGTI. I also took some shares in VSTM. VSTM going sideways. RGTI moving up nicely here. Again, get a little bit of time on this one. FI moving up today, getting above the 8 and the 15 again. Palantir down 58 cents today, but still right at the 15 EMA. Roblex up 1.2% today, bouncing right off the support level that we looked at this morning, right at the 8 and 15 right now. All right, so we added RGTI to the stocks that we've got. I'm not going to add very many stocks today. I'm going to just take maybe one or two swing type trades. We'll see. But I don't trust the market long term right now. I think it's in no man's land. Roger, I use the daily to get into this thing. I could have held off on it a little bit, but I like the stock, and I'm going out so far that I'm not particularly concerned about 20 or 30 cents on this thing right now. And I don't want to take a chance that it's going to keep on going. So if it goes back to the 15, that would be even a good entry, but it's not going to save you too much money on something like that. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing this, to be exact, you could place your entry as we bounce off the 15 or the VWAP. The problem, of course, is the 15 sloping up. So by the time it comes back to the 15, we might be higher than we are right now. So that's why I took it. Again, the daily chart on this thing is really nice. There you go. Again, current time frame momentum, multi-time frame momentum on trend. This is a beautiful compression here. Looking for a breakout of this compression. This thing can move a lot, by the way. You notice that this 1935, just the top of this candle. That's $1.50 higher than where we are right now. We've traded this before, and we had some nice profits in RGTI. Hey, Buck. Happy New Year to you as well. Again, I just took some RGTI, long and RGTI. Getting a nice little pop too here, by the way. Moderna straddle not doing much for me. Trading at 42.45 in the money on the calls, but not by much. Okay, buddy. Outside, Alfie. I'm gonna look for some SPY super system setups here. We got one in the SPY right now. Right now. Will it hold above there? I don't know. But it's a nice setup on the SPY. See what the Qs look like. Qs look just about the same as the SPY. Nice little pop. SPY just a little bit closer to the VWAP. took some SPY calls here on the SPY super system here, right here in this, off of this candle right here at the VWAP. I'm long the SPY. Apple bearish today, Shy? I haven't looked at it, but yeah, it's been very bearish lately. What time does 0DTE starts rapidly losing value? All day. The later it gets, the faster they lose value. But if you're not going to be in it, you shouldn't be in them that long. Again, compressions will hurt you. But in something like this, if it closes below the VWAP, you're out anyway. So it shouldn't be more than a couple of candles. So I wouldn't worry too much about the 0DTs. Again, I would take tomorrow's sometime after 12:30 or so. You could take tomorrow's right now if you wanted to, but I didn't. I took today's. And again, I just want to see where this thing closes. If it goes back down, I'll take a loss on it and move on. But the setup is pretty good here. Apple is very bearish. Yep. Falling pretty hard today. I'm off.
Okay. Will you just watch this and tell me how bad this is? Does it look too
Oh, wait a second. Let me watch it. I get it. I'm seeing them in this trade. This is the SPY right here. I need this thing to close above this pink line. So this is it could be very expensive if I don't pay attention to it.
Oh, pay attention. This is it.
I'm sure it'll be fine with whatever you did. I mean,
No, I want you to see it.
Come on, SPY, give me a little move here.
I'll come back. Just be in the kitchen. You can.
Yeah, I mean 5 minutes or so probably.
It's okay.
I'll look at it. Yeah, the Apple short is looking pretty good here. It's got quite a bit of room to the downside. I'll have to go and put some support and resistance levels on there. I'm not in it, but it's definitely a good short. And the market right now is falling below the VWAP, so I got to be real cautious here. Again, my momentum is still showing okay, but this is a pretty ugly red candle right here. It's kind of almost engulfing the previous green candle. So this is the kind of flush that hurts the SPY super system trade. Again, it's trying to bounce off the 15, so we'll see. Momentum's still pretty good. There is a close below the. So if you're in the using the VWAP, you could take a loss on this. I'm not. I'm going to hold this for another candle, see what it goes. But because it's down pretty steep right now, down about 60 cents. But again, the momentum is still green, and trying to move up above the VWAP. SPY's got resistance at 589.77. 589.77. Up around here. I'd be happy if it moved up that high. Again, it's still bouncing off the 15 right now. It's still bullish on the momentum. T2104 is still bullish on the daily. So again, I'm giving this thing a little bit of time, but not a lot. When's his last day? Tomorrow?
Yeah, but I have to send this today.
I'll be with you in just a minute, as soon as I
No,
close
okay,
this
I
trade
can
out.
redo it.
You gonna redo it?
Redo it, I like.
Did Alfie come back in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of watching, the SPY here. Again, I'm in the SPY super system trade right here, so you see I'm underwater on it right now as it comes back below the VWAP and sits right here in the 15. Again, you could have taken a loss right here. I'm staying in it for another candle. I've got the pivot point here. I've got the 15 right here. I get quite a bit of support right here. I want to see if it holds. So I'm willing to take a little bit larger loss than I normally would, just because of the technical setup on this thing. So SPY trying to bounce off the 15 again. These moves like this, it's cut my losses pretty fast as this thing moves up. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, it just depends on how I'm looking at the technicals on this thing. And I'm liking it's holding the 15. I got the pivot right here. So I took a pretty good drawdown as far as this candle is concerned. You see, it was in a bearish engulfing, but we'll see what happens here. Again, this is choppy action. We're not in a really nice trending market at all right now. So I'm just playing. This is a lot of program trades going on here. Not an awful lot of volume today. So I'm just kind of looking for a march like this, where I get like maybe 2, 3, 4 green candles, and then I'll try to take profits. But hopefully I don't get redwoods. Again, this is a big flush. See, something like that hurts. But again, you wouldn't be in this long because you hadn't got above the VWAP yet. So I did get above the VWAP, but it's holding right just below it right now. You're going to get a little bit of time decay here on these as it moves like this. Not a huge amount, but you're going to get a little bit of time decay, which is why 0 DTEs are. You don't really want to be in them after around 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. You want to go to the next day. You end up paying more for them, of course, so your ROI is going to be less than it would be on the 0 DTEs, but 0 DTEs can bleed off the time really quickly if on compressions are pulled down. So I'm just looking for a bounce above this VWAP, and if I take another one, it'll probably be tomorrow's expiration, or Monday's expiration. Yeah, tomorrow's expiration is the 3rd. RGTI moving up nicely. VSTM again. I'm in VSTM. Get in at 629. I bought stock at 629. It's trading at 644 right now. But moved up to around 678, and it's pulled back since then. And here's our GTI. Again, just marching up beautifully. trying to get above the VWAP. I gotta get it above the VWAP. See where this I went to this one, by the way. This 585.39, roughly 585.39 is a support on the SPY. That's the support of the level that was the gap up on after the election, the day after election. That was the low for that day. So that's been a nice support level. It's held it quite a few times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's held that support level. Again, I'm holding on to my SPY calls here. And I have a divergence as well. I got the T2104 showing bullish. So I have that to lean on. Based on that T2104, if I get in some SPY calls this afternoon, I'll take tomorrow's expiration, and I may take enough so that I can hold some of them overnight if I want to, if this divergence holds through the rest of the day. This is our GTA right here at the top of the cascading up scan. And Apple, we talked about, very weak today, moving sideways right now. It's by trying to get above the VWAP. Back after the VWAP again. See if we get through it. And SPY resistance 589.77 is the next resistance, and then it's got the 50-day moving average above there. 50-day on the SPY is 592.90, about 593. Again, it's not going anywhere right now. It's just moving sideways. It's just bleeding time out of my calls. Joe took 20 cents, mixed signals on SPY. Yeah, it definitely is mixed signals, for sure. It's not really going anywhere. It's just fighting this VWAP. Momentum's still good. The T2104 is a bullish. So again, I'm hanging on to this thing. Just bled off of that drop there. Just bled off some more premium. So we'll see where it goes.
from WCC, says NVIDIA has reportedly started to focus upon custom chip manufacturing. As the firm recruits several Taiwanese engineers to tap into the segment.
Chip stock's not doing too much today. Nvidia's up a little bit today, up about 3%, which is a nice little bounce. But again, this stock has, since earnings, has been very, very choppy. Urban showing a nice candle today, up about 2.5%. RGTI up nicely, up about 17%. RGTI. Again, this thing can move. This stock can move. It's a low price stock, but it can move. Which is one of the reasons I took it. I'm getting a little bit frustrated with the SPY. I'm probably going to take it off and revisit it later, and revisit it with tomorrow's expirations. Very choppy. It's trading below the 8 and the 15 right now. Just holding the pivot point. Alright, so I took the SPY off. I'm probably going to re-enter it if I get a bounce above the VWAP again, and I'll re-enter it with tomorrow's expiration. So I just took a loss on that SPY trade, and I'm still up for the day, but not by a lot right now. On the SPY Super System trades. Right, watching RGTI, that's doing nicely. RGI trading at about 540 right now. Again, I'm out of the SPY trade. I'm out of the SPY Super System trade here. This failed. Momentum's still good, but this is just a lot of chop right now, and the price action is not great. But again, I wouldn't. As you can see, the momentum starts to fade here. So we just kind of going between green and yellow right here. So again, I'm out of the trade. We'll see if it bounces again. If it does again, and I take it again, I'll take tomorrow's expiration on it. Give myself some time, especially with the T2104 having a divergence. All-time high in RGTI is 1935. SPY bouncing here again now. Fighting that VWAP. Terrible price action, just not a lot of price action here. William took 20 cents off the SPY Super System, sold at the VWAP, counting nickels today. Yeah, It is kind of, the price action is not great. It's not great. I had a nice win this morning early in the SPY. I had a 50-cent win, $50 contract win, and then I had a $15 contract win in the IWM, and then I just took 40-cent loss on the SPY here right here. So I have about $25 a contract for the day. Are you ready for your Ruthie?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You recording it again?
Rewriting.
Huh?
Rewriting.
Oh, rewriting. Don't let perfection be the.
No, I'm just trying to make it shorter.
Oh, okay.
One more time. Just trying to make it more concise so it doesn't look like I'm reading a list.
And I went back into the SPY with tomorrow's expirations. Back into the SPY long with tomorrow's expirations. I got the 587.50 calls. See where it goes. Again, I get tomorrow in this thing, so this is, I'm going to give a little bit of time to it. As long as it holds the pivot point today, I'll stay in this trade. So it's more of a at least part of the contracts I'll hold overnight probably. We'll see what it does. But that's my thinking right now. Whether that happens or not, we'll wait and see. Again, I'm in the SPY long right now.
Last time. Last time.
Put it on your timesheet.
Yeah. Keep thinking it's Friday. I'm so glad it's only Thursday.
Again, I'm long the SPY here. Tomorrow's expiration, 587.50 calls. After I took a loss on him just this time, here, got in, took a loss on him here, and back in him again here. And we'll see where it goes. Again, it's fighting this VWAP again. The price action is crummy here today. Let's be honest. This is terrible price action. But again, I'm just trading this by super system. We'll see how it does. We got RGTI long, and I have VSTM. I bought VSTM. I bought some stock in VSTM, and I paid $6.29 for it. So just slightly, pretty close to what I paid for it right now. not a lot of action in the market. SPY back down below the VWAP again. But again, I'm not going to get time decay too badly on this one. Price could hurt me, but the time decay won't. Quarter past 12 right now. Get another flush down here in the SPY, so I get in here and get clubbed again here, but I'm still in it. Again, I've got tomorrow's expiration. I'm not going to get out of it unless I see something a little bit more dramatic than this. The momentum's holding up pretty well, but this is all chop, and probably not a good time to be trading the SPY super system right now. Again, I'm trading off the T2104, but this is really pretty much garbage, and I would not recommend anybody follow me into these trades right now. Like 12:20. I'm going to have lunch in about 10 minutes. Let's see if we get any questions off the YouTube folks. Nope. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. I'll be ending the YouTube live feed in about 10 minutes. I'm going to stop for lunch. SPY heading down here. Not being very conducive to my position right here as it pulls back down to the VWAP. Here's our support level that it's held pretty much since the election gap right here all the way back into November. Again, SPY selling off. Momentum's gone against me. If I was day trading this as a trade for the SPY super system, I should be out right now. Again, I'm writing it, so we'll see what happens. I'm writing it down right now. SPY taking a pretty deep drop here now. So again, as I said, I'm holding these things at tentatively for overnight. We'll see how far the market drops, but I've got support here at 585.39. 585.39 is the support level. It's held pretty well for a good long time. So again, I'm probably going to hold on to these things. Again, I would not recommend falling me into the SPY Super System Trade or any of them right now, because the price action is terrible. It's just choppy, very choppy, and we're selling off right now. SPY is actually still slightly green, but just by 7 cents. Again, we're coming right down to that 585.39 level. Again, I can't short the SPY here. I got too much support at 585.39. We go right through it, so we'll see what happens here. Flushing down pretty quick. Just took some profits in the Ollie short that I had on from Tuesday. OLLI short. Market's dropping down really hard here, though. This is a pretty big drop. Again, we're through the 585.39 level. Let's see if we bounce back up to it. Pretty good short on the SPY Super System here, by the way. I didn't take it, of course. I'm long. Pretty good sell-off on the market. Volume pretty low. 17 million shares on the SPY. Traded 57 million on Tuesday. Still coming in though. So as you can imagine, I'm underwater pretty big on these SPY calls for tomorrow. But again, as I said, I'm willing to hold these things if we hold 585.39 today. This is the SPY daily right here that I'm looking at. Again, this was the election gap right here. Notice it held here, 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 broke through it, came right back up, closed it well above it, and it held here, here, and we're right down at it again today. So we'll see if it gets back up above this right here. If it does get above 585.39 and start to show bullishness, I'll probably add some more positions to the trade. But you know, it looks like a short right now. It's got room right now down to 581. But I'm not gonna touch a short on it right here. Apple's still the Apple coming in, and the SPY still coming in here. Try SPY trying to bounce. Right, I'm going to stop and get some lunch, although I'm going to be watching this market pretty closely because I'm thinking of adding some more SPY calls here for overnight. This is not the SPY Super System trade. This is just calls for overnight. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if we get a bounce here. Gonna get some lunch, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the YouTube feed. Thanks very much, everybody from YouTube. Thank you for tuning in this morning. We'll be back again tomorrow between about 11 and 11:15. We get started.